Hello, everybody. This is Steve Evans at Irwindale Raceway in sunny Southern California. Today, we're going to show you one of the most spectator-satisfying sports in the world, Speedway short track. It's been thrilling fans the world over since 1923 and was one of America's own sports dazzlers during the 30s and 40s. We're seeing the rebirth in America of the artful skill of the broad slide. The United States, now back into competition with the rest of the world, has already made its bid in the World Championships held in Poland this year. Today, we'll be seeing America's cream of the crop, the East-West All-Star teams. Today, two 7-man teams compete against each other, round-robin per European rules, scoring 3 points for first, 2 for second, and 1 point for third place. Fourth place is 0. The machines seen today are out of the jet age. 500cc alcohol-burning power plants that produce close to 60 horsepower. They're light, specially designed, and completely without brakes. The ultimate in fast broadside handling. In fact, they only handle properly with throttle wide open and the bike in a slide. The balance of a surfer, strength of a good middleweight fighter, and the raw courage of a bullfighter. That's Speedway short track. Let's go to the pits and meet the athletes in action today.
I'm from Loomis, Sherman Oaks, California. My number's 6, and I ride for the East team.
Hello, my name is Mike Bast. I'm out of Canyon Country, California, riding for the West team. My number is 1.
Hi, my name is Bruce Penhall. I'm from Balboa. I'm riding for the East team, and I hope to have a good day of racing.
Hi, I'm Jeff Sexton. I live in Montclair and riding for the East team, and number's number 14. We're here at Irwindale today.
Get your bike on hold.
My name's Sonny Nutter. I'm from Topanga, California, number 19, and I'm on the Eastern team. Yeah.
My name's Bill Cody. I'm from Garden Grove, California, and I'm on the Western team.
I'm Mark Cherry. I'm from Reseda, California. I'm number 7 on the West team. Okay, here we got 3 of them ready now. Because we don't have to put all that together.
Hello, my name is Rick Woods. I'm from Huntington Beach, California, and I'm here today competing on the West team. My number is number 2, and we'll see what happens shortly.
My name is Larry Shaw. I'm from Fullerton, California. I'm riding for the East team today, and we're going to put it on them.
Hi, I'm Steve Nutter. I'm from Southern California. I'm going to be riding for the West team today, and I'm number 18 today. Thank you.
My name is Doug Farrell, and I'm riding for the West team. I'm from Pasadena, and my number is 121.
Hi, my name is Alan Christian. I'm from Huntington Beach, California. My number is 28, and I'm riding for the East team today.
Hello, my name is Bobby Schwartz. I'm 20 years old from Santa Barbara, California. My number is 126, and I'm riding for the East team.
Hello, my name is Scott Savage. My number is 34. I'm from Chatsworth, California, on the West team.
Here we go with the first event in this team competition. Remember the scoring now. It's 3 points for first, 2 for second, 1 for third, and 0 for fourth place. It's East versus West. As you can see, the machines are hand-pushed, bump-started, and they'll come to the starting line. You'll see at the starting line a strange-looking starting gate. It's really comprised of tapes stretched across the racetrack. Should a rider leave too soon and break one of those tapes before the gate flies up, he'll be automatically disqualified. This is the first event. We'll be seeing 13 today, and a tiebreaker if it's necessary, and we'll set them on the line for you. On the pole, on the inside for the East team, number 14, Jeff Sexton. In the number 2 slot for the West, number 18, Steve Nutter. In the 3rd slot for the East, number 19, Sonny Nutter. And on the outside, national champion number 1, Michael Bass for the West. And Bass gets a tremendous start, tries to cut across the entire field to get down on the pole. His own teammate, Stevie Nutter, prevents him from doing that. We may see some team riding here now as Bass and Nutter try to literally block the racetrack. They're the West team in the yellow jerseys. The blue jerseys behind them, the East team of Jeff Sexton and Sonny Nutter. Michael Bass, certainly the premier Speedway rider in this country. And young Stevie Nutter, a candidate for Rookie of the Year for sure. Now, even though they're team riding, Bass will still want the victory here if he can possibly get it. He'll try to surge ahead, and he does. This is the last lap. The white flag signifying one more circuit of this racetrack. So the West team is going to dominate the first heat. Michael Bass with a win, number 1. Stevie Nutter, number 18, in 2nd place. And they pick up 5 big points for the West. The lone point for the East team coming from number 19, Sonny Nutter. And there's Michael Bass. It is plenty warm here today at Irwindale Raceway. As you can see, the crowd in T-shirts at the most. We're just about 14 miles east of the Civic Center in downtown Los Angeles. And now we're going to be going into event number 2. These are all 4-lap races. The West leading the East by the score of 5-1. We'll set them for you now right on the starting gate. Moving in on the pole will be past national champion, wearing number 2, Rick Woods for the West. The West in the yellow and maroon. Next to him will be for the East, Bobby Schwartz, number 126. Then for the West, Scott Sivage, number 3. And up against the wall, Stephen Bass, number 6 for the East. Steve Bass coming from the outside, trying to get down low on the pole. It's the quick way around, but it's Bobby Schwartz who leaps out in front. Here comes Bass to pull up right alongside him as the East trying to get even on the score. The shortest way around is on the pole, but the outside sometimes will take more horsepower. It has more traction. It can be the quickest way around. Young Bobby Schwartz, just 18 years of age, looks like he's going to pick up 3 points here for the East, which they badly need. Rick Woods now moving into the number 2 spot. Woods, a past national champion himself and an excellent surfer. Bobby Schwartz, number 126 in blue. Rick Woods right on his rear wheel. Woods trying to get down to the pole, but just can't seem to stay there. You see the tremendous balance necessary here, and there is the checkered flag, and it is Bobby Schwartz with 3 points for the East. Rick Woods pulling out 2 points for the West. Getting in with 1 point for the East is Stephen Bass, number 6, and Scott Sivage finishing in the 4th slot. Will pick up no points there, but the East does close the gap. The score now, West 7, East 5, as we move into event number 3. This is typical pacing in speedway racing. That's why I think the spectators get such a big kick out of it. The race is just jammed one right behind the other, never a lull in the action. On the pole here now for the East in blue is going to be number 5, Lightning Larry Shaw. Spinning the rear wheel here to keep the clutch cool until everybody's ready. In the 2nd slot for the West, number 121, they call him Dangerous Dub Farrell. For the East in the 3rd slot, Super Bruce Penhall, number 45, a handsome boy from Newport Beach, California. On the outside, one of the veterans of Speedway short track, number 41, Wild Bill Cody. Starter lining him, and the gate flies. Dub Farrell, the dangerous one, moving out to take an early lead, and in trouble a little bit there was Penhall, I believe. Penhall loves to ride the wall, watching here with a rooster tail of dirt behind the motorcycle. Gets out maybe a little too wide. And still Dub Farrell, one of the lowest profiles of any rider, just hugs the tank on the motorcycle. So Farrell in the lead. Number 5, Larry Shaw, the closest Eastern rider to him. The last lap flag is out. We're on lap number 4, and Farrell riding easily. Looking behind him, checking the location of the other riders, making sure nobody's trying to pass him. And here is the checkered flag for Dub Farrell, and 3 big points for the West. 2nd place, Larry Shaw, 2 points for the East. In the 3rd slot, Wild Bill Cody and Bruce Penhall trailing, which he rarely does. In fact, a DNF on Penhall as he had some problems with no points. The score, West 11, East 7. Here we go into event number 4 on the pole for the West. Mark Cherry, number 7. Next to him for the East is Jeff Sexton, number 14. Then number 2, Rick Woods again for the West. And on the outside, sliding Sonny Nutter, number 19. Nutter with a bit of a wheel stand and costing a little time off the gate. Nutter forced wide. Mark Cherry for the West leads it going into turn number 3. His teammate Rick Woods for an instant pulls right up alongside and then drops back. Jeff Sexton, number 14 for the East, pressuring Cherry now. So it's west-east. Look at Cherry glancing back, trying to block the racetrack if necessary. Sexton trying to make Cherry guess. Is he going to go high? Is he going to go low? So Mark Cherry leading it. Then Sexton. Then number 2, Rick Woods. Sexton, famous for his last-ditch efforts here. We're on the last lap. This is a short racetrack by European standards. In fact, Cherry raced in England earlier this year. Here comes Sexton, making his move right now. Is it enough? It is. Incredible. Right at the finish line, Jeff Sexton, 3 points for the East. Rick Woods also getting around Cherry with 2 points for the West. Cherry dropping back to 3rd for just 1 point, and Sonny Nutter trailing for the East. The score now, the West still leading it, but the East tightens it up. West 14, East 10. Event number 5 rolls out of the pit gate. The West still leading, but the East gaining momentum. Let's set them for you. On the pole, number 6, Stephen Bast for the East. Next to him in the number 2 slot, number 41, Wild Bill Cody for the West. Then Bobby Schwartz with 1 victory already today, number 126 for the East. And Dangerous Dub Farrell, number 121, rolls in on the far outside for the West. Let's see if Stephen Bast can take advantage of that pole position. And how, like a rocket ship, anticipating the gate just beautifully. Now, Steve Bast has not been that active this year. Few people thought he'd show this kind of poise. As you've probably already gathered, we're seeing brothers here today, 2 Basts. Michael is number 1, the reigning national champion. This is the older brother, Steve, who actually won a national championship a few years ago before Michael did. Look at Stephen Bast, just humiliating the pack. Bobby Schwartz, the only rider even close to him, and Schwartz couldn't hit him with a rock. They're on the last lap. Steve Bast riding very easily. Bobby Schwartz in the number 2 spot also for the East, so they're going to really dominate here in event number 5. And there's the checkered flag for Stephen Bast, 3 big points. Bobby Schwartz with 2 points also for the East. Then Bill Cody and Dub Farrell in that order in event number 5. And that ties it up. There's Steve Bast, West 15, East 15, as we move quickly into event number 6. First to roll in is the pole rider for the West, number 18, Stevie Nutter. We're seeing 2 Basts today and 2 Nutters. Steve, the young cousin of number 19, Slidin' Sonny Nutter. Now, next to Steve Nutter is going to be for the East, number 5, Larry Shaw. Then Michael Bast, the only rider to ever win the national championship back-to-back, still wears the number 1. He's for the West in the 3rd slot on the outside. Bruce Penhall, number 45 for the East. One of the riders pushing the tapes a little bit here. I think the starter's going to back him up. He does. If he'd have broken that tape, it would have meant disqualification. So the starter going to set him again. On the outside, Bruce Penhall, you see rocked up on the kickstand, spinning that rear wheel to keep the clutch from getting overly warm. Starter Tom Blattner with the flag up, and here we go. We've got to start. And moving out with an early lead is Michael Bast on the outside. Bast normally tries to hug the pole, but evidently figures the groove today at Irwindale is on the outside. It may be a bit too deep out there, though. Bast now trying to get down on the pole where he loves to ride. And it's Bruce Penhall for the East, number 45 taking the lead. Bast and Penhall have gone at it hammer and tong all season long. And now it's West Team Championship with Penhall leading. And there's little Steve Nutter, number 18. Here's Bast trying to move again on the outside, but he cannot make it stick. Penhall, one of the flashiest of all the riders. Look at him sticking his foot out. Now he's just going to taunt Stevie Nutter a little bit. Penhall so relaxed. Look at this, kicking at him with his foot now, saying, come on, let's hold you up there, boy. and it's number 45, Bruce Penhall with the win. 3 points for the East. Stevie Nutter just irritated, I think, a little bit at Penhall's antics. Look at Penhall. Nice-looking kid. Male model material. Stevie Nutter with 2 points for the West. Bass with 1 point for the West. Larry Shaw trails with no points, but the score is still tied now. West 18, East 18. As their staggered finish needs a push on points. As opposed to many forms of motorsports, in Speedway, the rider is everything. His ability is at least 90% of the overall performance. The motorcycle maybe 10% at the most. The motorcycle's kind of like hockey sticks or baseball bats. You just got to have one to play the game. The score is tied, 18 apiece. On the pole now, number 14, Jeff Sexton for the East. In the number 2 slot, number 121, Dub Farrell for the West. Then Sonny number 19 for the East. On the outside is Bill Cody, 41 for the West. With an early lead just for a second is Farrell, but Sexton, now in blue, moves right out in front of him. Farrell bobbled just a little bit, and it was enough for Jeff Sexton. You see Farrell just almost totally out of control. He's taken more than one rider to the wall. They nicknamed him Dangerous Dub. Jeff Sexton, so sweet. Reminds me of one of the Bass brothers, really. You'll notice they spend a lot of time off the seat of the motorcycle, literally standing up with a steel shoe, supporting the 1 foot right on the surface of the racetrack. The racetrack must be smooth. It cannot have any holes in it. Decomposed granite at the surface, and there's the checkered flag. 3 big points for the East team and Jeff Sexton. Dub Farrell riding in number 2 for the West with 2 points. Then Sonny Nutter with 1, and Wild Bill Cody absolutely 0 points. And for the first time, the East leads 22 to the West 20. The East carries a 2-point lead as we move into our 8th event of the afternoon. On the pole for the West, little Steve Nutter, number 18. For the East, in the number 2 slot is Bobby Schwartz, number 126. For the West, the big gun, Michael Bass, number 1. And on the outside is Alan Christian. And Schwartz goes down. Schwartz is down to the racetrack hard. The infield crew picking up the motorcycle. Bobby Schwartz looks to be okay. He is. He's just fine, but he won't restart this race. Michael Bass, the light helmet, the number 1 on his back, moves out as expected for the West. And moving in, trying to make it a sweep for the West here, and they need it badly, is Steve Nutter, number 18. Look at Nutter and Bass. Classic team riding, European style. And Bass now giving instructions to Nutter. And believe me, Nutter will listen. Nutter now moves a little bit ahead of Bass. Bass isn't going to like that. Now, Bass is going to go for it. Nutter's got the track blocked enough. Bass is going to go for the win here. Even though it's team competition, Michael Bass, such a competitive individual. And Bass gets it, flips his shield up, he won it, and knows it. Michael Bass with 3 points for the West. Steve Nutter with 2 points for the West. Alan Christian, 1 point for the East, and you saw Bobby Schwartz, he never got up. So the West turns it right around, 25 for the West, 23 for the East. Event number 9, taking shape right now at the starting grid. On the pole, blue for the East, number 6, Steve Bast. Right next to him, adjusting his face shield, number 34, Scott Sivage. Then for the East, number 45, the exciting Bruce Penhall. And on the outside, number 2 for the West, Rick Woods. 2-point advantage right now for the West team. Coordination of the clutch and the throttle, so important for a good start. And look at the East team now. They're behind by 2, but that can change here. Steve Bast, Bruce Penhall just sweeping up the racetrack. Penhall throwing a rooster tail of dirt behind the rear tire. Now these are high-gear only motorcycles. They never shift gears. Awesome amount of horsepower. In fact, the most powerful motorcycles in the world, horsepower to weight. Penhall with his radical style that the fans love so much. Speedway, in fact, here in Southern California, draws more fans on a weekly basis than any other motorsports in America. Still, it is Steve Bass, number 6, number 45, Bruce Penhall. Now I think they're racing for it, one-on-one. Penhall won't get so close to him as to take a chance of knocking him down. But there he is, Steve Bast, and the tables are turned. Now it's the East leading by 2 points, 28 to the West, 26. East-West team competition, a thriller here today at Irwindale. West team captain Mike Bast is in tough here now. His team behind by 2 points. However, they could just turn the tables again here if he and his riding partner, Stevie Nutter, can sweep this event number 10. It's Nutter on the pole, then Christian, Bast, and Sexton. That's how they line up, and look at the yellow shirts. It is the West team, Mike Bast, Steve Nutter. Let's see if again, Bast gives hand signals, nods his head to Steve Nutter, trying to direct him on the racetrack. Bast is always aware of where every rider is. Look at the dirt being thrown into the air. A lot of it into the grandstand. People don't seem to mind. Jeff Sexton giving him fits there, trying to break up this combination with very little success. Sexton, number 14. Trailing is Alan Christian. The tables will be turned once again if the West can keep this sweep. As you see it right now, side by side, Michael Bast, Steve Nutter. Bast in the light-colored helmet. And it is Bast by less than half a wheel over teammate Steve Nutter. Sexton and Christian trail for the East. It's now West 31, East 29. Absolutely incredible. Perfectly matched teams. Wasting no time today. Here's event number 11 already at the gate. Bobby Schwartz on the pole, number 126. Carrying the front wheel, setting it down beautifully, and leads coming out of turn number 1. Schwartz, Sivage, Nutter, and Woods in that order. East-West, East-West. Bobby Schwartz having just a great day for himself. Most of these riders are professionals. They do this for a living. Try to earn a year's livelihood in just 6 short months. This a postseason affair. Michael Bast has already clinched the national championship. Team racing making tremendous inroads in America. It's always been popular in England. In fact, they have entire leagues built around Speedway. British League, they call it. Bobby Schwartz just waltzing away with this. And a cakewalk for the youngster from Santa Barbara. So there's the flag for the winning Eastern rider, Bobby Schwartz, and that ties the score once again. 33 points apiece, West and East. With only 2 more scheduled races, it's a brand new Speedway race. The score at 33 points apiece. We move into event number 12, and on the pole is Dub Farrell, keeping the RPMs up there. Next ring is Bruce Penhall. Mark Cherry, Alan Christian on the outside. Dub Farrell in the lead out of turn number 2, looking for his second checkered flag of the day. Penhall just behind him, then Christian. Farrell, Penhall, Christian. Farrell trying to keep that front wheel on the ground. Tremendous traction. The score tied. If they finish as we see them right now, it'll still be tied. But wait a minute, there's a rider down. That's Alan Christian for the East. He's not hurt. His head's landing in a pillow of dirt, actually. He'll be more embarrassed than he is hurt. And that's going to hurt the East. That's really going to hurt. Christian could have picked up at least 1 point, and instead it's Dub Farrell winning it for 3. Bruce Penhall for the East with 2. Mark Cherry for 1. So the West takes the lead with 37 points to the East 35. Here we go into the final event of this East-West Team Championship. The West ahead by 2 points. If they can sweep this 1 and 2, they'll win it all. On the pole is Bobby Schwartz for the East, number 126. Then Steve Nutter for the West, number 18. Bruce Penhall, number 45 for the East, and Michael Bast. Here he goes, the national champion. Did you see him sweep from the far outside position? A tremendous start. Gave him room to come right across the field and just literally shut the door. The crowd really up for this one. Bast is seldom headed once he gets out in the lead. Michael Bast, Penhall chasing him. Bobby Schwartz, number 126. The closest rider to Bast right now. Penhall going wide as he loves to do. When Bruce Penhall gets wide like this, he's as dangerous as any rider in the country. Look at Penhall going wide, almost out of control. Penhall is going to try to get around in front of Bast, making his move on the outside. It's It's going to take a superhuman effort to do it. Here's Penhall, and look at this. Misses him by inches, and it's Bruce Penhall taking the checkered flag, and look at him wave. He is pumped. What does that do to the score? It ties it up. After 13 events, 39 points for each team will go into a sudden death playoff. A match race, if you like. Now each team is going to pick a rider. They'll draw for it, actually. The long straw will select the rider from the east and the west to go in to event 14. Call it sudden death, call it overtime, whatever you want to call it. It's a tiebreaker. Penhall waving to the girls. He's got more female fans than any Speedway rider. And here comes the match race. Representing the east, it'll be Stephen Bass, number 6. Doug Farrell, number 121 for the west. They drew for position. Bass wins the favored hole. This is it, the East-West Championship right here in one match race. Steve Bass out ahead of dangerous Doug Farrell. Farrell, as we've seen all day, hugging the motorcycle, trying to reduce the wind resistance. Farrell pushing that rear tire of Bass. If he hits him too hard, they could both go down. Stephen Bass, coming out of retirement, hasn't raced in months, and he can win it all right now for the East. Farrell trying every groove on the racetrack, but none seem to play catch-up with Stephen Bass. Steve Bass appears to be home free to win this for the East. They're on the last lap. The whole day boiling down to one lap. There's big cash bonuses for the member of the winning team, and it's gonna be the Eastern team as Steve Bass takes the flag over dangerous Doug Farrell. Certainly, Stephen Bass and Bruce Penhall, the heroes for the East team today as they trailed during the early going here this afternoon. And here they are piling on one motorcycle, 3 members of the East team. Steve Bass in the middle. Let's see, is Sonny Nutter, and with his shirt off already is Bruce Penhall as they wave to the fans, and they'll be collecting some fat paychecks as the winning team here today. Today's action was sanctioned by the Speedway Racing Association. This is Steve Evans saying so long from Southern California.